Good evening, everyone. It's wine o'clock here at the Wine Man's, and we're still in house move mode. Still haven't moved yet, but the wine reviews must go on. And tonight's wine, it's from France. It's from the Cotes du Rhone region of France. But this isn't just any old Cotes du Rhone. This is Domaine La Solitude Cotes du Rhone. So what? What makes that so amazing? Well, it's from the Famille Lancon, and they are a very, very special family. Single estate in the Rhone Valley. They are a Chateauneuf du Pape grower, and they're particularly honoured. As you can see, you have the 3 Bs here, and you also have the Pope's mitres. And the reason for that is because the descendants of the family Lancon were awarded the 3 Bs by Napoleon himself because of their efforts in the Napoleonic Wars. And also, they're so highly rated in making Chateauneuf du Pape that they get these particular hats that they can proudly present and put on their labels. So, often, when we drink Chateauneuf du Pape, they're made of up to 16 different grape varieties in the reds. Most of them tend to be 3 to 4. And this Cotes du Rhone is no different. This is a 3 grape varietal Rhone. And I had a little drop of it earlier, and I'm going to have some more now. Because we have here, what do we have? I'm trying to recall the exact blend. We have Grenache, 50%, 40% Syrah, and 10% Mourvèdre. And then it is kept in very, very large oak casks, which is just there not to impart any oak flavouring, but more to soften any tannins that are there. So what vintage do we have here? 2018 vintage. With the Lancon Solitude Cotes du Rhone, it typically can keep for about 4 to 5 years. The Chateauneuf du Pape can keep even longer, and it is one of the best. So as you can see, it's quite dark. Can't see me hiding. There we go. It's really good. So it's got an underlying spice, but also a depth of flavour. It's got that berry characteristic, and it's typical because in Chateauneuf du Pape you have these very, very big pumice stones. And what happens is that the heat comes down and it warms the stones in the daytime. And then at night time, those stones, like in a sauna, release the heat going back up to the grapes. So the grapes get heat all the time, which is quite incredible. And it also means that the vines have to work incredibly hard to get through those particular stones. Now those stones then also impart a minerality and a flavour and a characteristic to the wine, which is particular to Chateauneuf du Pape. And you don't really get it anywhere else, and it's called it's quite incredible. It's a bit like Kimmeridgian soil in Chablis imparts a particular taste. It's the same with the soil in Chateauneuf. So it's very meaty, very fleshy, rich style of aroma. Oh, you've even got the bees on the cork. This is a lovely, lovely wine. The tannins are just gone in seconds, you know, I mean, and then it just wraps you in it and it grips you. That's the firmness of the wine. That Grenache, that it has that little bit of spice, and then the Syrah that's also spicy, slightly leathery, really interesting. It's got this licoricey characteristic that goes through it. A leathery, as I mentioned earlier, it's a decadent Cotes du Rhone. This is not your light, flimsy Cotes du Rhone that you might get in the shops. This is a really, really good Cotes du Rhone. Put it with a steak, put it with, a beef bourguignon, put it with, a nice venison, some pheasant, anything like that. This is a cracking one. I'm going to highly recommend this. I have spent some time with the Famille Lancon, and they are a beautiful family. They don't have, sort of degustation rooms that are en grande. They've just got their own little private room, and they've got their incredible vineyard that they look after, and they bottle everything at source, look after everything at source. You will not get a better Cotes du Rhone than this, believe me.